You would think that being a place full of phazon, the impact crater would be more blue, but the red phazon is actually way more deadly. It has a mutagenic index about 80% higher than regular phazon, so the phazon suit is useless to us.
Morphology. Lumigek. Phazon-charged reptiles. Natives of Talon 4, the Lumigeks travel in swarms to increase their odds of survival. They absorb and radiate phazon energy, making these swarms a threat.
Oh, I mean, they look harmless enough. Oh, never mind, they're deadly. Just like everything else on the planet. This room is full of fission Metroids. Infinitely respawning fission Metroids. And I'm doing my very best to fight fair right now. And that's about the extent of my attempts to fight fair. I'm not sure if the implication is that there was some sort of massive creature that died and that were crawling across its bones or teeth or something. The architecture of this place is kind of strange. Come on. Come on. Oh, what a surprise! How is this here? And how are those here for that matter? Really, I'm not sure what those are. And is it supposed to be, like, that's pure water, or is that intoxicated air? Oh, come on. Okay, this time I'll fight fair. Oh, would you get out of the way? Well, I tried. Ooh. Yep. Oh, come on. Although, why did I even do that? That was like 5 meters. I would have taken maybe 50 damage. We've messed with the best, it's time to mess with the rest. Or is that the other way around? Morphology, Metroid Prime. Highly evolved phazon-producing lifeform. The aberration known as Metroid Prime is the source of phazon, making it immensely powerful. A genetic flaw makes it susceptible to certain weapons for brief periods. Only its head is truly vulnerable, other attacks are a nuisance. Offensively, Metroid Prime has a number of natural and mechanical weapons at its disposal. These include ultra-frigid breath, multi-missiles, snare beams, and particle wave projectors. Its massive strength and barbed carapace make it lethal in melee combat. Recommend maximum firepower when engaging this enemy. Okay, I can do maximum firepower. Super missiles. On sub-level 1, Metroid Prime only uses the power and wave weaknesses. As we go further and further down, it will gain more weaknesses and more attacks. But in general, the fight stays the same. It's actually really easy with free aim, since you can aim around its really annoying, tiny opening. After you do a bit of damage from sub-level 2 onwards, Metroid Prime likes to charge at you. You can more fall under it, but if you take that middle track, you're probably going to get hit by the tail. Look at the homing on that super missile, it's so good. And sometimes you can get the super missile to hit twice, which is even better. Metroid Prime, if I did this, would that mean anything to you? Oh my god, the ice spreader is actually useful. Okay, this is kind of annoying, dude. You might be wondering where Metroid Prime got all of these mechanical weapons, and the answer is lore inconsistencies. In the original NTSC version of the game, Metroid Prime was found by the pirates in the Impact Crater Caves, and they found it was genetically similar to a Metroid, but not necessarily an actual Metroid. They did some tests on it, found that it really liked phazon. It grew the carapace on its own, but it broke out one day and assimilated all of the weapons from security drones. Except that none of that was possible because the Chozo already sealed off the Impact Crater eons ago, and Retro didn't realize this inconsistency until the game had already shipped. PAL version and all subsequent versions fixed this error, but it doesn't explain where Metroid Prime got the weapons now. It doesn't really matter, although it does raise some questions about if this was an actual Metroid, how it even got there in the first place. If you let these spheres actually get to you, they can be really dangerous. Ow! So can Metroid Prime. Plasma Form is really good for doing damage. Let's just see if the flamethrower will be of any use whatsoever, though. Yeah, that looked really useless. On this sub-level, Metroid Prime will just randomly change forms if it wants to. And And you also only have the one track in the middle, so you have to time it well to not get hit by the tail as you go underneath it. Overall, this fight is a really good summation of everything that makes Metroid Prime's combat good. It's not too fast-paced, it makes use of all of the different mechanics you have at your disposal, and it's made significantly easier if you went around and explored until you collected every upgrade. And of course, it's much easier with free aim. And just like that, Metroid Prime is no more, probably. Yeah, you're angry. The core essence of Metroid Prime. Scan indicates that the phazon energy form of Metroid Prime is invulnerable to all weapons. Only attacks from a phazon-fused arm cannon will damage it. It generates pools of phazon when it attacks. Use these to fuel your suit's phazon weapon system. The entity can also spawn Metroids to assist it in battle, rendering it invisible when it does so. Now sneakily, when we got the phazon suit, we also happened to get the phazon beam. It's just that it only triggers itself when in the presence of concentrated phazon, like this pool right here. And that's what the fight looks like. There's really no way to speed this up, aside from manipulating a little bit of how the phazon pool reacts to your actions. But for the most part, you wait for Metroid Prime to do some shockwaves, then generate a pool of phazon, and hit Metroid Prime a little bit. It's thematically really cool, and mechanically really boring and slow-paced. It takes like 6 rounds of this to kill Metroid Prime completely, and that's if you get fortunate and don't miss with the phazon beam at any point. Metroid Prime does spawn the Metroids, but the phazon beam wipes them out immediately. Even the threat of Metroid Prime turning invisible becomes not that much of a problem when you realize that it always goes from normal visor to X-ray visor to thermal visor. So you end up spending most of the fight just locked on, jumping around and listening to the music, which is a cool remix of the title theme, but still, this goes for a while. compared to the Meta Ridley fight, which was almost immediately before this, and the Omega Pirate fight, which was only a little bit before that, this just doesn't feel that great. But again, it's really more about the thematic impact and about how we've been using phazon now to accomplish our goals after it has been the source of all of our problems. Here we go, last one. Metroid Prime, your time is done. Unless you've got some tricks up your sleeve, this is the end. It's time for you to leave.
Chozo's faith in Samus has been well rewarded, and now a new star shines in the universe. The bounty hunter, Samus Aran. What future and fate await her?
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened in that crater collapse. I'm also not entirely certain that all of the phazon is gone from the planet, but I did kill like 99% of the creatures on Talon 4, so I don't think the 1% will really mind too much. And that's the end of Metroid Prime. Before going any further, I would love to thank everyone who submitted readings for the scan data throughout this Let's Play, in some non-specific order. Heavy Sigh, Major Monotone, Robust Laser, Bella Dante, High Fives, Book of Halsey, Zach Fleeman, Scruffy, Loco, Sean Lawlaw, JS Blue 3, RJ Waters 2, Striking Yak, Micah Wataharu, Carousel of Regret, King Cool, Timothy, Buttons, Skippy Granola, Laser App, The Toughest Bean, Bear Pigman, Damn You Peachy, Level 99, Smarms, Thornbrain, Jacob Espades, Grimlock Master, Blind Sally, Mateo 360, Power Frog, Ironicus, Robert Dedford, Aces High, Xavier Ganesi, Major JF, Copy, Velocity Raptor, John of Ordo 3, Generic Footwear, Jamie the D, Aishlin, Jossie Rossi, Pyroy, An Anonymous Idiot, Magius, Simply Simon, Ore Striker, Paul Power, BMS, Rigged Death Trap, Lacetamonius, Allison by Proxy, Gertrude Perkins, Maple Leaf, Hypercube Villain, Kalathra, Purple Sandwich, Charlotte, Cernrath, Zane, Olive Branch, Valdetiosi, Aristo 1, Mr. Elbows, Number 169, George, Cronite, DJW175, Detective Dorian, John Liver, Pesky Splinter, Warmol, Liquidy Poo, Kaznorf, ARP1033, Akagade Zephyr, Noodle Neck, Daz, Nicholas Arroyo, Ix, Adamant, Klinkie Ruja, NGDBSS, Lunar Suite, Gema. And thanks to everyone who signed up but unfortunately wasn't able to read. It was still very much appreciated, and all of you who shared the Let's Play around to spread the word. This was a rousing success that could not have been what it was without every one of you submitting your voices. So thank you for helping me to make, I think, one of the most immersive Metroid experiences, of one of the best Metroid experiences. Ah, look at that, 100%, that's what I like to see. No loose ends, everything has been completely resolved, and we'll never hear anything about Metroid Prime again. And in only 8.5 hours, which is including the extraordinary amount of time I wasted getting all of the artifacts when I could have gotten them much faster. And with that, I'll see you next mission. Let's worry about that later.